Oh my god, everybody. We just got, literally just now, a sneak peek to the biggest patch in all of AoE2 history. At least one that isn't necessarily just associated with the DLC. I mean, this is huge. It's got like a gajillion balance changes. It's got new visuals. It's got stuff up the wazoo. So this is probably going to be longer than most of my balance update patch videos. There's just so much to talk about. I hope you guys are getting excited because there is a lot here. So let's just jump right into it. All right, so last month we teased that not only would AoE2 DE be coming to the PlayStation, but a new expansion is planned as well. To put a cherry on top, we will also be releasing one of the biggest updates AoE2 DE has ever had. I'm pretty sure this is the biggest one. Also, there's a bunch of stuff snuck in for the new DLC, like the new China DLC for AoE2, so we'll cover that too. All right, so very, very long patch preview. You can save the date for mid-April. All right, so keep that in mind. Patch notes are huge, so here's what's to look forward to. Bug fixes, new visuals for castles, elite unique units, monks, and monasteries. Tech tree UI updates, balance changes, new maps, and new features and content to support map scripting, scenario editor, and modding. All right, so again, update planned for mid-April. Okay, so fix some crashes. We're gonna have to skim through some of this because there's a lot to cover. Added individual complexity ratings for historical battle scenarios. I'm not sure what that means. Fixed an issue where Stone Gate. Okay, that's whatever. All right. And let's see. Monks ordered to pick up a relic are no longer selected by select all military units hotkeys, which is honestly pretty neat. Renamed to change weapon hotkey to change mode and added a second instance of this hotkey. Hallelujah, guys! We can have our Rathas have different hotkeys for melee mode and ranged mode. Oh my goodness. Praised out. Alright, so some Xbox changes. Look at this, guys. Added new castle visuals, 25 new ones, which I would assume for all the civs that don't have unique ones. My guess is that there's going to be one civilization that has all of the existing castle ones, and then they added some new unique ones. So, quick look here. I am literally just going through this for the first. Stupid. All right. Can I open the image in a new tab to zoom it in? All right. This is, I think, one of the new Chinese ones, right? For the new DLC. That is probably Italians. That is Malians or Berbers. That's probably Portuguese. That's probably Burmese. Ooh. Lithuanians, maybe? Maybe another one of the Mediterranean-y ones. Is this like Chinese? Chinese? Like, because Japanese are getting the old East Asian castle because it's literally a Japanese castle. We'll have to see what these other East Asian ones are. Maybe these might be the 3 new ones from the DLC. And then one of these is original Chinese. I don't know. There is just so much to unpack here. Oh my goodness, guys. Here's another big one. Unique unit visuals. Every elite unique unit now uses a different visual compared to its non-upgraded counterpart. With the Teutonic Knight helmet crests, samurai banners, or janissary hats, defeat your opponents with more style than ever. Oh my goodness, look at all of this, guys. Tarkans, Teutonic Knights, Samurai, Conquistadors, Janissaries with hats again, Keshigs, Magyar Hussars, Berserks with more beard, Throwing Axemen, Mamelukes. Alright, a few units have received non-visual upgrade as well. Ballista Elephants, Longbowmen, Showtells, Plumes, Kamuyuks, Gebettos, and Woad Raiders. I don't necessarily know what that means. Use the existing visual for the elite unit. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. Regional monk and monastery visuals introduced 6 new monks that have been distributed to the relevant civilizations. Now convert siege and engines and elephants by showcasing the best clothing attire the region has to offer. Added a pagan priest as a scenario editor unit. Added a new conversion animation for monks. The previous one is used for healing. Okay, so they're actually different animations. That's cool. All right, so this looks like the classic monk. That looks like a Catholic cardinal. So maybe this is going to be for like Italian, Spanish, Portuguese. Obviously, that's the American Civ monk. That looks like an imam. I don't know what that is. I mean, it's also like a feathery headdress. This might be like Ethiopian Orthodox, maybe? That is obviously a Buddhist monk. This is probably South Asia? And this East Asia, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, introduced 3 new monastery visuals for the Byzantines, Ethiopians, and shamanistic civilizations. So we have like a mini version of the Ethiopian wonder. It's kind of like a mini version of, like, it's not the Italian wonder. It's like one of the Southern European wonders. Maybe Sicilians. And literally the pagan shrine. Okay. Added regional monk visuals as player profile icons. Okay, look at this. Attack animation synchronization. Oh my goodness. I've been asking for this forever. Introduced new idle combat animation for Vils, Spearlines, Kamyuks, Gilmen, which is Gulams, and Teutonic Knights that plays in between. Okay. The speed of some attack animations has been adjusted. Perfect. Then you've got some animation updates. UI changes. Look at this, guys. This is literally as far as I got in reading the patch notes before I started making the video, because it's just like, too much. Fraction Trebuchet. That's new to the DLC. They're definitely weaving in some hints here. Caravanserai, as you know, and Pastures, also a new building. So, got a new regional unit with the Traction Trebuchet, and a new unique building. Reorganize the tech tree layout for better readability and more efficient use of space. Look at this, guys. Fire Lancers. Oh, okay, so there is... One of the new civs has a Fire Lancer infantry unit. Good Cav Archers. My guess would be fully upgraded skirmishers. No Knights, but Steppe Lancers, Heavy Camels, and Hussars. And no Gambesons at all anymore. Consistent wording, I'm always a big fan of that. Look at this. Create He Guang Cavalry, 65 food, 65 gold. So 5 more food than a knight and 10 less gold. Powerful all-purpose cavalry, strong versus infantry and foot archers, weak versus spearmen, camel riders, and monks. So again, that's going to be new to the expansion. Okay, that is fine. And that is fine as well. Attack and armor display. Okay. Oh, that's nice for those who don't know all the ins and outs. Elite Fire Archer. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Wait, Elite... The Eagle Warrior armor class is renamed to Shock Infantry, as it's now used by other units such as the Jian Swordsmen and Fire Lancers. You have Fire Archers that have... So it's crossbowmen times 2 attack, 6 range, so longbowman range. Maybe they're not going to benefit from like fletching and stuff. 3.5 reload time is very slow, and same archer movement speed. I mean, again, I don't know any of this stuff ahead of time, so this is all new to me. All right, so they're updating the title a little bit. Bridges and bridge pieces are now visible from the game start. That's fine. Clear. Okay, that's fine. Fishing ships no longer require antiquity mode to be enabled to gather oysters, so this can actually be added into tournament maps and regular multiplayer maps now. All right, some fixes here. Issues causing villagers, garrisoned, and TCs to automatically shoot boars. That's happened in tournaments before. Let's Let's see. I mean, I might be skimming over some important stuff, but we'll have to see here. Fixed an issue where the Chinese AI... Okay. Campaign... Okay, added Xi'an for all owners of Victors and Vanquished. Xi'an provides an all-new scenario to play as the updated Chinese civilization. In Xi'an, the Xi clan defends the Fei River from the northern warlord Fu Jian, who has designs to conquer all of China. Infiltrate enemy camps with spies, bribe enemy guards, fund a rebellion, and even misdirect the enemy army as you and your outnumbered forces save the Eastern Qin dynasty. Is that even in the AoE2 timeframe? Yeah, I thought it was a little bit before. Okay, so they're really pushing the AoE2 time frame here. 266 to 420 is definitely in the very earliest end of AoE2. Alright, so replace Priest with Pagan Priest. Has a 125 pop limit. Deletes his Auditor before resigning. That's pretty funny. Alright, that is fine. Infinite amount of buildings all over the map. Uh-oh. Change civilization of Karakitai. Replace the mangonels of the Karakitai with rocket carts and their mangudai with cav archers. Okay. Okay. Change the civilization of the Karakitai. Change the civilizations of Qin and Tanguts. I wonder what those are going to be. Could it be Jurchens and Tanguts? Renamed Xixia to Xixia and Song to Song. Just using the more modern spellings of those. What is odd to me is that Xixia is the Tangut. Like, Xixia or Western Xia is it's the Tangut Empire, essentially. So it's kind of weird that they would change one but not the other, because technically this is redundant. Siege workshops now swap ownership, that's fine. Enable monasteries. Oh, I guess that's once you do the Turtle Monk one. Okay. That is fine. Alright, guys, here we go. Look at all these balance changes. Look at this. Holy bananas. Alright, so let's just get into this. Alright, so Elite Step Lancer cost massively reduced. 900 food, 550 gold to 600 food, 550 gold. I mean, Step Lancers already felt really insane to me, so we'll see. Look at this, guys. Cav Archer train time has been increased from 34 to 37 seconds, and same goes for the Heavy Cav Archer. So there is a nerf to the CA meta. It's not an enormous one, but it's definitely going to be felt a little bit. Elephant Archer cost changed from 80 food, 70 gold to 60 food, 80 gold. Jeez. Elephant Archers are cheap, man. Look at this. Transport ship garrison capacity increased from 5 to 20. Literally every civ can get 20 garrison space in the transport ships, and you can do so from the very start of the game. Oh boy, this is going to lead to some pretty degen rushes on water maps. And yeah, careening and dry dock don't affect that anymore. Trade cart and trade cog base movement speed has been increased, and caravan has been nerfed. So I think this is just going to end up with the same result in terms of movement speed, but less impact is given to the caravan upgrade, which is fine. Siege tower conversion distance reduced to 0.5 tiles, the same as rams, which is absolutely fair because converting those guys long distance felt really unfair. Buildings garrisoned with villagers no longer fire fewer arrows after researching ranged attack upgrades. This actually is relevant for early tower rushes, because once you got fletching, you needed one more villager in a tower to deal the maximum damage. Mangonels deal -1 damage to monks. Okay, yeah, so they will no longer randomly die due to a direct hit. That's fine. Infantry update. They literally have entirely a section for infantry. Supplies removed, so RIP supplies 2019 to 2025. We'll hardly forget ye. Militia line cost reduced from 60 food 20 gold to 50 food and 20 gold. That is just going to be a straight up buff. Note that it does make the swordsman outline actually a bit more expensive in late game because they used to be 45 food after supplies. So this is actually a buff early game and a slight nerf late game, which I think is fine. Men-at-Arms, Long Swordsman, Two-Handed Swordsman, and Champion base movement speed increase from 0.9 to 0.96. So that is the same as archers and skirmishers and hand cannoneers. So the swordsman line just now moves faster. Two-Handed Swordsman cost has been reduced, research time has been reduced, and HP has been increased. Champion, 100 food less. Research time has been reduced, and attack increased from 13 to 14. Okay. Oh boy, so we got ourselves some champion buffs even in post-imp, which I don't necessarily think they needed. Arson is now available in Feudal Age and has half the cost. And the Eagle Scout train time has been reduced from 60 to 50 seconds. Okay, so this is a lot of infantry buffs, guys. I mean, they're going to jam swordsman buffs through until the unit is viable for especially infantry civs, so yeah, this is going to do that. It's tough to know what exactly is the point in which they're going to be going over, but they're faster, stronger, and quicker to get to, and Arson's much easier to get to push buildings in early game. So, I mean, that sounds pretty good. At the very least, in situations where swordsmen were already very strong, like in late game, they're like 5 food more, but they also have 1 more attack for champions, so we'll have to see. Aztecs, Jaguar Warrior. Attack increased from 10 to 15? 12 to 19? What the heck? And look at this, now gain +1 attack when defeating a military unit up to a maximum of +4 attack. What the heck? Okay, so Elite Jaguar Warriors with full upgrades. It's going to be 19 plus 8. So 27. Plus 4 from defeating an enemy military unit is what, 31 attack for an Elite Jaguar Warrior? Yeah, that's pretty insane. They're probably now just the best infantry unique unit. That honestly feels a little, like, way too good, but oh boy, we'll see. Anyway, their attack versus infantry is the same, but I honestly think that Jags might be way too good now. It's, like, actually insane. Anyway, Bengalis. Ratha's a little bit nerfed in Castle Age, so that is going to be a good change. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I think that the trample damage in Castle Age might be too good, but this is at least a step in the right direction. Konix. This doesn't change that much. I mean, the dismounted Konix are a little bit better, but this isn't going to change much for Bulgarians. Okay, this is a new one. Flemish Militia. They can now be trained at the barracks starting in Feudal Age. Cost change from 50 food, 15 gold to 30 food, 30 gold. So they're basically going to be a hybrid between the spear line and the swordsman line throughout the ages. And I think they might get automatic upgrades. That's what this looks like, at least. So this might be a nice little Castle Age power spike. But they have the Spearman armor class now, so they take extra damage from skirmishers and archers. Alright. Interesting, right? The Flemish Militia is now an actual unit that you might see at different points in the game. Alright, Celts, Woad Raider. Cost increased from 7 to by 5 food, essentially. Movement speed has been decreased very slightly. Attack has been increased again, which I find a little mind-boggling. I'm kind of worried because Woad Raiders are already insane. And look at this. Infantry movement speed civilization bonus has changed to 5, 10, 15, 20 instead of just 15. So it's actually a little bit of a Feudal Age nerf, an Imperial Age buff, and a Dark Age buff. Interesting. Alrighty. Yeah, again, Woad Raiders are going to be ridiculous now. Chinese. Oh my goodness. Chinese are now listed as an archer and gunpowder civilization and are receiving a massive update to their units and bonuses. Gain access to Fire Lancers, Rocket Carts, Luchons, and Dragon Ships. A unique upgrade to Fire Ships. Obviously, we don't really know what these things are yet, so it's hard to say. New civilization bonus. Fire Lancers and Fire Ships move faster. Okay. Now, what Chinese were missing in the late game was actually fast fire ship, right? They had everything at the dock except elite cannon galleon and fast fire ship. So now it looks like they have an even better version of that. And they don't get extra demo ship HP. It's kind of interesting. Elite Chuko new attack increased. Okay, they already had ridiculous damage, but now it's going to be even more ridiculous. And then we have a very, very expensive elite upgrade cost now, though. Like, that's really expensive. We'll have to see, guys. Maybe there's something that we're missing. Okay. So, the rocket carts are going to be the nest of bees. Fire Lancers, we'll just have to see what they are. I don't know what a Luchuan is. Maybe that's a ship? We're doing this live. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, it's Chuan, not Chuan. Okay, so it is a ship. So I guess this is going to be a cannon galleon replacement. Which makes sense as they now lose access to cannon galleons. Okay, they lose camels completely. Lose access to the mangonel line, so this means that the rocket carts, which like I said, they're going to be the nest of bees. One, the fact that they're not called nest of bees themselves or hwachas means that I think that Koreans are going to be getting them. Again, like, in full disclosure, I knew most of these balance changes ahead of time, but I didn't know the Chinese ones ahead of time. And yeah, anything involving the new DLC, I don't know at all until I'm reading it right now. So I guess this replaces mangonels. And it's probably going to be added to Koreans too. We'll get to that in a little bit. All right. I mean, losing camels is actually a huge nerf to Chinese, but they're just going to be a little bit different now, so we'll have to see what all these different units do. Dravidians. So the Arumis got a bit of a buff, which definitely was a little bit needed. I'm still kind of concerned that they're just going to die to archers, though, but still wreck infantry, or just any sort of melee unit. And they gain husbandry, which is a buff to their battle or elephant archers, I guess, and their light cav doesn't change that much. Although it does mean that like very few civs now miss husbandry. It's literally just Teutons and Vikings, or civs that have stables. And actually, Ornlu humans miss husbandry too? Yeah. They get a better version of it for free. All right, so Georgians, a big nerf, especially early on, to their HP regeneration. I don't actually think this is going to be enough. I still think the Civ is going to be too good, but I guess this is a step in the right direction. Goths. Huskarls have had their price reduced and their train time from castles reduced, but they've also had their infantry discount nerfed by a little bit to, I guess, reflect the decrease in price of the swordsman line. Tarkans. Now this is actually a pretty decent buff, because they used to be like one of the slowest attacking land units in the game, or I guess non-siege land units in the game. Now they have the same attack speed as most cavalry unique units. So this is actually going to be a pretty nice DPS buff. Yeah, good change. Italians, Pavisa's removed. It's just now a Civ bonus. So you get that for free. So that's going to be a big boost to the early game for Italians. Silk Road moved to Castle Age, and its cost has been reduced. Okay, that's fine. New unique tech, Pyrotechnica. Available in Imp for a decent price. Hand cannons deal 15% pass-through damage and are more accurate, which sounds insane to me, to be honest, but... Alright, we'll see. Alright, so Samurai for Japanese. 45 food, 30 gold, so cheaper on the food cost, still higher than a swordsman on the gold cost. Now gain additional movement speed and 1 attack when charging at an enemy unit. So, my understanding is that this works like the triremes in the Chronicles expansion. So it's basically like if you're within a certain range of an enemy unit that you've clicked on, or I think are on attack, move, or patrol, they'll get like a movement speed buff and a little bit of extra attack at first. We'll have to see how this works and how janky it is, but it's definitely a bit interesting. And team bonus adjusted, okay, that is, I think, a slight buff? Because galleys have what? No, they would have 7 tiles line of sight, so yeah, this is, I think, just a rewording. I don't know. Anyway, Ballista Elephant. Just nerf. Just straight up nerf. Honestly, the unit was probably too good anyway. They still feel insane now that they're affected by ballistic, so this was necessary. Okay, so like I said, this stuff I have no idea about. So gain access to Fire Lancers and Rocket Carts, so they get their Hwachas. And Fire Lancers, whatever they're gonna do. Note that the Koreans have terrible cavalry in general, though. They miss Blast Furnace, Plate Burning Armor, and Bloodlines. Civilization bonuses, reduced minimum range has been replaced by their old Villager LOS boost. Okay. War Wagon bonus versus buildings has been removed. I can see this for the Castle Age version. I think it was pretty unnecessary for the Elite one, though. I really don't think Elite War Wagons were OP at all. Okay, so the turtle ships get, I guess, a bunch of updates. Now fires 2 volleys of rockets in between cannon shots. Interesting. Received a large number of statistical changes. Now more effective versus the galley line, but more vulnerable to demo ships. So attacks cannon... Okay, that's much less. And they shoot slower, and they're no longer affected by ballistics. So the actual cannon does less. But the rockets are just a new thing. Interesting. Okay, we'll just have to see how this plays out. This is obviously so many changes. I think they just have more armor now? Or I think it was like, what? 6-5 and then 8-6? Armor? Trying to remember their extra ship armor. Anyway, they have a turtle ship armor class. So now they... So this basically just is versus the galley line for the most part. And towers. Okay, yeah, so it does indeed look like the Hwachas, the Nest of Bees, the rocket carts, are going to replace the Mangonel line. So now it's insanely expensive. Holy cow. Shinki-chan, 800 wood, 500 gold to 1100 food, 800 gold. So instead of Mangonel line +1 range, rocket carts and turtle ships +1 range, fire additional rockets. Okay. Something crazy is going to happen there. We're just going to have to see, guys. Team bonus, I think this is just a rewording of it. Anyway, Koreans, again, there are so many, like, fundamental changes, and obviously, as soon as I can get my hands on this, I'm going to do all the testing in the world. For these changes, and I'll try and provide semi-high quality videos for you guys. Alright. Portuguese, Organ Gun, just nerfing the HP. Good change. Again, it's such a janky unit, so it's kind of hard to say. But yeah, I mean, a nerf to the organ guns is not something I'm complaining about. Note that this does not include the elite organ gun. Alright, so Legionaries' base movement speed has been increased. This is just going to be in line with the rest of the swordsmen. And lose access to arson is kind of surprising. I guess they were too good versus buildings with the Centurion buff? Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, let's just go read it like this. So, sergeants now are more food intensive and less gold intensive. Their movement speed is for some reason 0.01 slower than the swordsman line, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Less armor in feudal age, more melee heavy armor in castle age, and more melee heavy in imperial age. So sergeants are now more focused on melee armor than pierce armor, although their pierce armor is not bad. So, donjons. This is actually a change that I suggested like a long time ago. Like, not, I mean, it's a change I thought of a long time ago, but I'm glad they're implementing it now. and I think, talked about it in State of the Civs. So donjons can now be built in the Dark Age. They cannot shoot arrows until Feudal Age. And they're pretty weak in Dark Age. So they're not the strongest building in Dark Age, and they can't shoot any arrows, but what this does is that you can build a donjon on your way up to Feudal Age, and then use that to unlock archery ranges and stables. So I actually really like this change a lot. And we'll have to see how these Sergeant changes shake up, too. At least they're trying something interesting with Sicilians, right? Which, yeah, they're going to probably need several more changes on top of this to be a super interesting civ, but I think this is still a move in the right direction. All right, free supplies and gambesons is changed to free arson and gambesons for Slavs. I mean, supplies doesn't exist anymore, so might as well get arson for free. Missionaries now affected by cavalry armor upgrades. Are you ready for your chonky missionaries to charge in? Oh boy. All right, Teutons. The elite Teutonic Knight. Okay, so regular HP and elite HP has been increased, and their conversion resistance has been increased, on top of the Teuton inherent conversion resistance bonus, so good changes there for the Teutonic Knight. You can see that it's, because you're buffing the swordsman line, you also need to buff some of the infantry unique units so that they're not power crept by regular swordsmen. Okay, so Vietnamese are also gaining access to Fire Lancers. Again, I really don't know what these units are going to do. We'll have to see. And then archery range units and Fire Lancers have extra HP. Okay, we'll have to see what that does. Honestly, I think Vietnamese need a bit of a nerf, and this is a straight-up buff, so I'm a little worried for that, to be honest. We'll have to see. And then Berserks are going to be a little bit cheaper on the gold cost. Fine there. All right, so there are so many balance changes here. There's going to be a lot that's being shaken up. I still think that, Georgians are going to be insane. Scorpion play is still likely going to be insane. We'll have to see what the Nest of Huachas is going to do. That's definitely going to be the name of the unit in my mind now, the Nest of Huachas. I mean, there's a lot to process here, guys, and there's going to be so big of an impact on the tournament scene and ranked play, and I'm looking forward to all the... I mean, I don't necessarily agree with all of the changes, but my biggest complaint about AoE2 these days has been that things have felt really stagnant. So this is not going to be that. All right. Chronicles. Okay, so this is fine. They're just updating some stuff. Good stuff there. Added 2... Oh, we have Glade and added Great Wall. Okay, that's pretty fun. Okay, so Fortified Clearing we know from TTL and other tournaments. So that's pretty cool that that's now a map, as that's a good map. Glade, I have no idea what that is, so we'll have to see. But new maps are always nice. Interesting. Okay, look at this. They added 9 start maps, or 9 start for several of these maps. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Oh, they updated Arabia. Nice. Player forests are larger. Player forests are now more equal between all players. Furthest player forests have been pushed slightly closer. Resources now generate much more unpredictably. I like that. Natural resources now generate towards the center of the map. Is now more varied. I love this. 20 to 28. Okay, so huntable animals, which means deer, I think. That's going to be a little bit more random, so probably a little bit less deer pushing. Huntable animals generate in 2 groups of 4 instead of only 1 of... Oh, in groups of 2 of 4. Okay. Relics generate much more unpredictably, but still relatively evenly distributed. Okay. 1 relic no longer generates in the dead center of the map. I love this. I love these changes. Oh my goodness. Relics now scale more appropriately. That's fine. 40% chance, which is more representative of the legacy map. I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness, guys. Regular huntable animals will be replaced by a small group of unpushable huntable animals? What the heck is that? Does that mean boars? Yeah, I have no idea what this means. But I hate the deer pushing meta, so I like that. And then it added more variety, that's fine. All right, so player bases now scale more appropriately for arena, new themes. Players now only generate walls towards the center of the map, so you don't have to delete those in the back of your base. Yeah, I have no idea what unpushable huntable animals means. Added groups of neutral small huntable animals in the center of the map. Okay, so I guess you have some extra deer in the middle of the map. Fixing map gen issues. Added some elevation to the outside forests. Okay, I guess this is just to make it a bit more tactical in like super grindy games, which is fine. Okay, fixing a bug, and okay. That's all fine. Black Forest, decrease the number of inaccessible areas on the map, which is always nice. On the generations where ponds appear on the map, all players will now have access to one relatively small pond. Okay, so it's everybody gets ponds or nobody gets ponds. The forest clearings now appear more natural looking. That's all good there. Generate 2 hostile huntables from far from their initial town center. Okay, so just making it a bit more even. Added more variety in map themes, and okay. These maps I don't really care about as much. Mega random, major increase in variations of all map layouts, awesome. Nomad Start can now feature extra villagers, some extra food resources, new bamboo trees, water, and animals were added. Okay, so some mega random changes too. Michi, that is fine. Nomad changes, awesome. Added a small chance of landlock. Oh, I like that. Gold and stone deposits. Okay, so more evenly spread out. Added more variety in map themes. Increased the map dimensions by 5%. So I guess it's just a bit bigger now. Oh, okay. Players will start with 1 herdable. Okay, so now you actually get a guaranteed sheep scout. More consistently spread across the map, which is going to be very good. That regular herdable animals will be replaced by 2 smaller... I'm really curious as to what this means. Maybe you guys know. Anyway, some maps I don't care as much about there. Looks like Yucatan got a bit of an overhaul. Some Chronicles changes. Some scripting improvements that will, I'm sure, make T-West happy. Color moods? I have no idea what this means. I guess for map stuff. Oh, okay. This is all very pretty. Oh, it's some pandas! Oh, yay. Look at the happy little pandas. I love pandas. Who doesn't love pandas? Wild chickens. Alright, some AI changes. Some stuff there, and what they're looking up for. Let's see. Just trying to read that. Get the same day. Okay, yeah, so we're not ready to say exactly when the update's coming, but it's going to be mid-April. Something new for the competitive players, of course. There's so much there for that. There's the new expansion. All that stuff. And, oh boy. Open this up in another tab. Okay, it's a little low res. I guess that's one of the wonders. Wow, guys. That's it. That's the new DLC. Almost 40 minutes to go through patch notes. Holy cow. I hope you guys are looking forward to this. Obviously, I am. I'll be providing you single-player, multiplayer content up the wazoo for all of these changes, so look forward to that. Thank you so much for watching, and stay hyped for this DLC. Oh, man.